Hello everyone, thanks so much for joining me today for Kineo Totara office hours. I'm excited that you were able to come and join us today. I know that this time of year kind of gets a little hectic and sometimes we don't have a whole bunch of folks coming to stuff like this, so I really appreciate you guys taking the time today. Today what we're going to talk about is Totara version 9 job assignments. Now this is part 2, so if you haven't, so if some of the stuff I'm talking about today makes absolutely no sense, go look at our list. We do have the job assignments part 1 posted out there, so that will be valuable and make today make more sense probably. I'll try to give some context as we go along, but just wanted to kind of talk a little bit more about it because it's quite the onion, but I think it's pretty neat, and it's a neat new feature to the system. A little bit about myself. My name is Taylor Craig. I'm a platforms consultant here at Kineo. So my job entails getting to train you guys. I work really closely with our solution architects to make sure that you're trained on not only the core solution but also your custom solution. So if you have any custom tools or modules or anything like that we've built, I'm generally the guy that goes in and writes the documentation for it and then trains you on that documentation to make sure that you understand it and make sure it's working exactly like you want it to work. So that's kind of what I do here at Kineo. A little bit about office hours for those of you who maybe haven't joined us or haven't seen one before. What we do in this is I do typically about a 15-20 minute overview of some feature. If I've not covered something that you would like to see or you want to see something again, in your email that you received, there is actually a link in there for you to go and give me suggestions. So suggestions are always welcome. We're looking for lots of suggestions for 2017. So feel free to submit those suggestions as freely and as often as you would like. And then what we do is we post that feature presentation out on YouTube. So we post the 15-minute talk, we post that out to YouTube for anyone, but the 45 minutes afterwards, that's client-only time. We like for you to be able to come and bring your questions. We like for you to be able to learn from our other clients and see what they're doing and the cool and exciting things you're doing as well. So feel free to come and bring us your questions. A little announcement, guys. We've got special office hours next week. So next week we are going to host office hours. It's just not going to be on Thursday because Thursday is going to be right around the holiday time. So we are doing this, though, on Tuesday, December 20th at 1 p.m. Central Time. So that will be when we have that, but it's going to be on Tuesday instead of Thursday. Same time. And the link should register you, and it should send you all the good reminders and all that good stuff. So anyway, I hope to see you back with me next Tuesday. We'll be doing actually part 3 of this job assignments talk. All right, so as we learned in our first session, we learned that there is a new part of Totara that actually takes an old component and makes it usable. So in the past, in older versions, you had the ability to give people what was called a, quote, secondary job role or secondary job assignment. But it didn't do anything. It was strictly informational only. And now what we have is this job assignments area, and it actually does stuff. Your learners can utilize it. Your managers can utilize it. You can pull reports. You can pull filtered reports that way off of it. So it's really kind of a nice tool, and we do see some use cases for it in different environments. And we talk about those a little bit in part 1. So definitely take a look back at that. So, you know, it's one of those things, if I can have multiple managers, kind of how does that work from a learner's perspective, from the manager's perspective? And we're going to take a look at what that actually looks like to a manager. What does that manager see? What does the other manager see? And then what does that look like to a learner? Does a learner ever actually realize that they have more than one manager in the system? So let's just take a quick look. We're going to dive in there and take a look and see what that does look like to those folks. So first and foremost, let's take a look here. we're going to go in here. We're going to take a look at Aaron Hart. He's the learner that we're going to use, and he has multiple managers. So I want to show you what this looks like from an administrator's point of view. So we're going to browse list of users. Here's Mr. Hart here. So we're going to click on this. So now, again, used to, that was located underneath, I believe it was site administration, users, and then you would go to the user's account, and then you go to primary position, and then you would get to this screen. Now it's just kind of a little block inside the profile, and it's called job assignments, and you can add multiple job assignments. You can have, you know, honestly, I haven't tried to max it out yet, but right now, this guy, he's got two. He's got two different job assignments, which might be realistic in this particular situation. So he works for a fast food company. And what he's doing is he's the general manager of 2 stores in the area. But there are regional managers up a little bit higher than him. So he actually has people over him in both of his stores. So here we see he is a general manager of store 4024. So we see that. I don't know where his position went. Let's give that back to him. We'll just pop that right back in. Not sure why I didn't have it anymore. There we go. So he's general manager of store 4024. And Johnny Bell at that store is his manager. He's the person that he reports to there. Okay, so that's what we're seeing there. Now let's take a look at 4023. This is a different store. And he, again, is also the general manager. I must have removed that on myself. I was just in there looking at it. There we go. We're going to give him that roll back. There we go. General manager of 4023. So he's general manager of both these stores, but he reports to Jerry Fox over at 4023. So he's got 2 different managers. So we're going to update that job assignment as well. Okay, so let's actually log in as Aaron because we want to see if he really sees anything any differently. Okay, so here I'm logged in as Aaron Hart, so I'm going to go up here and I'm going to click on my team. He should see some folks from both places, and here he does. You'll see that he sees Barbara Fisher, he sees Gerald Hansen, and he sees Jason Martinez. Now, what we have the ability to do, guys, remember this is an embedded report. So what I found is it's a pretty good idea to go into that embedded report and alter it so that you can see the organization and also the user's manager's name, just so you can kind of see where folks fall, especially when you're dealing with situations like this where they have maybe multiple people reporting to them. So what he can do here now is he can come in and he can change the between the organizations, and so he could narrow this. So say he had 20 people reporting to him at each place, he could actually narrow that down and see, okay, which store is it that I have those people, right? Now, as a learner, so Aaron does still have to take some learning because he is in here as a learner as well. He has people who reports to him, but he also is in here as a learner. So really the main things that he's going to see that are any different for him, or any of the learners for that matter, is they're going to see things inside of the bookings for seminars. Guys, remember, seminars are what used to be called face-to-face. So he's going to see things a little bit differently. So here, let's actually cancel this booking and we'll come back and rebook so that we can see kind of how that works a little bit. So he's going to come in here, he's going to sign up. You have some new options for seminar. We'll be talking about seminar at some point. And he sees, okay, my managers are Johnny Bell and Jerry Fox. So if he just wants Johnny to approve him, he can come in and he can choose, he can search here for Johnny and select him and say, okay, so that's the manager he's wanting to take this seminar under. And then he can actually choose which store that is. So he knows that he reports to Johnny at 4024. So that's his store, right? So then he can request that approval. So that's going to be kind of the main place where learners see any kind of difference. The learners aren't ever going to really notice any kind of difference. It's really kind of the more so from the management side. So let's take a look at what Aaron's managers see, because we know that Aaron just requested to take part in that seminar, and he asked that specifically of Johnny, but he also reports to another guy as well. So we're going to take a look at this. Now this is Johnny's screen. I'm going to refresh because he's got the old approval and then he's got a new one here. So you'll see here he's seeing in his task screen that Aaron has a seminar booking request. So he can click on that, and now he can choose to either dismiss or accept it. Totally up to him. Before we do either one of those things, though, I want to show you what it looks like to the other manager. So here is your other manager. I'm going to refresh his screen too. And you'll notice he sees nothing about the seminar. He doesn't see anything to do with that face-to-face example. So he's not getting requests to do that. Now, one of the kickers here, though, is you'll notice that he sees a new plan approval request by Aaron Hart, and so does Johnny. Okay, so if we click on that, that is actually a learning plan. So when you have learning plans, it's kind of a free-for-all. It's whichever manager gets to it first to approve that learning plan for that learner. So any of your managers who Aaron reports to, if he's got 4 managers, any of them can approve that learning plan. So it's kind of it's an across-the-board type of thing. Okay, so that's going to be your major differences from the learner's perspective and from the manager's perspective. So I hope that you found this beneficial. Again, we will be having office hours next week, but we're having it on Tuesday, December 20th at 1 o'clock Central Standard Time. So I hope to see you all there. Looking forward to it, and I hope that you have a wonderful holiday if I don't talk to you or see any of you before then. Thanks so much, and we'll talk soon.